Hello, we are Geeks Assembled, and today me and Susan are discussing a brand new TV drama series which just recently aired, um, based on Neil Gaiman's comic books of the 80s, I think it was. Um, we are talking The Sandman, a 10-part serial. Oh, no, hold it. It's an 11-part serial because there was a bonus episode dropped the other week. So yeah, 11 episodes of The Sandman. Story of um, the battle against good and evil. Dream, Lucifer. Um, it's quite an ensemble cast. So without further ado, we'll go over to Susan and her opening thoughts on The Sandman.
Yeah. Um, this this is another brilliant Neil Gaiman win for me, in my humble opinion. I loved Good Omens. I love the book where he wrote that with Terry Pratchett, and he took some of the what the the mythology, the powerful supernatural feel of Good Omens and invested it back into this, and it's just freaking fantastic. It has a great cast of characters. Tom Sturridge plays Dreams. Gwendolyn Christie played Lucifer, and Clara Oswald played Joanna Constantine.
Clara Oswald.
Clara Oswald, yeah.
You mean Jenna Coleman?
Clara Oswald, Oswin Oswald. Think so, some people know her by Jenna Coleman, but
Yeah.
yeah, not. I mean, yeah, she could have been known by some other stuff too, but anyway. Um, and Boyd Holbrook was played the Corinthian. Mason Alexander Park played Desire, and Katie Howell Baptiste played Death, and David Thewlis played Dr. Destiny. And then there were the humans, um, which there were um, there was Ethel, there was Lita, um, yeah, I mean, it was pretty amazing. Like, gosh, what was the family that had him? Anyway, Dream was basically, they tried to manifest death
Mhm.
and capture death to deal with this issue in their family. And that they got,
Captured Dream instead.
what's that?
They captured Dream instead.
They captured Dream instead, and they kept him in a box for about 2 years.
Hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yeah, 2 years. Anyway, that fucked up the dreamland, the dreamscape, all the places that you go to dream. This one lady went to sleep when it all started and woke up when it all ended. And that was pretty interesting. And her daughter became a dream vortex, or granddaughter or something became a dream vortex. That was cool. And it was set at Cape Kennedy, which is used to be known as Cape Canaveral. It's where NASA shoots off rockets. It's also a beautiful sort of beach community, in Florida. And let's see. Oh yeah, Stephen Fry's in this. So that was pretty random and fun.
Gilbert.
And so it was an elaborate story about the the fall and rise of Dream and his dreamland and his. And it was like he was a prince and a god at the same time. There's a lot of cool supernatural things that went on around this. People in and out of different frames of reference and stuff. Wasn't really multiverse, so that was like a cool shift because everything has been like everything has been about the multiverse recently,
Not this one.
but not this one. And I really liked the Gatherer episode. I like that one. That was pretty cool. Like with all these serial killers, they they call it a serial convention, and they spelled it like the
Breakfast cereal.
and it was actually about like the serial killer, like SERIEL, like serial killer. Anyway, that was really weird and fun. That was so much like Supernatural. It was like the TV show Supernatural. That was great. That was and and the Corinthian and his affection for stealing eyeballs. I just don't, there's just so much to be said for what that was. And then, oh man, so there's some really gruesome parts to this.
Mm.
Um, yeah, so I enjoyed it. I think that other people will enjoy it. I think that it was strong stuff. And Neil Gaiman, right? I mean, it was like Neil Gaiman is back to his powerful storytelling thing, like he did with what was it called, Neverwhere? Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
That was a good one too. Anyway, this one was stylish and steampunk and goth and all these things, and like just there was so many goth. It was very goth. It was a wonderful goth story. Yeah, that was pretty much what it was
Mm.
goth delight. Anyway, so after all of this, what did you think? What were your opening thoughts, Lee?
Well, I always knew about the Sandman, not the Marvel villain Sandman. This Sandman is the DC Sandman, DC
Oh,
comic Sandman.
this is a DC comic book,
Yeah, Neil Gaiman. It was graphic novel um
but
things.
it was Neil
Yeah,
Gaiman
yeah,
wrote for DC.
yeah, yeah.
Oh no shit! Oh wow. Okay, go on.
So I always knew the Sandman existed, but I never read the comics.
Oh my god!
Um,
Wow.
but but going into this, I thought, I'll just do a little bit of research and that. Wow, I mean, the imagery of the comics of Dream Morpheus, that you white, tall, bushy hair, pale, angular features. Tom Sturridge has got it off to a T.
Oh nice, nice.
It was just exactly like the. And what? Yeah, you won't kick Tom Sturridge out of bed, would you?
No,
No, no,
neither, right?
no. It's easy on the eye, but
Yeah.
Yeah, so for the imagery of the Sandman, they've got that really, really down to a T. Um, and when he was captured, kept in that glass globe,
Oh, he was naked
Chelsea,
the whole time.
he was you saw his butt, yeah. But that was down to Charles Dance trying to capture death. So we've got Charles Dance in this.
Oh yeah, sure.
Treat him, as a prisoner for about over 100 years. And say as he was captured there, the dreaming, as you say, went to rack and ruin. People left, went looking for him, couldn't find him, never came back. So his siblings, his brothers and sisters, which all begin with D.
Yeah, that's true.
You've
That's
got
D,
Dream,
that's DC for you. Everything has to start with the same letter.
you've got Dream, you've got Death, Despair, Desire, Destruction. They're all
Everything.
so
The Corinthian.
the Corinthian. No, well, the Corinthian wasn't. He was he. The Corinthian was a nightmare created by Dream.
Oh,
He wasn't. He wasn't up there. He was one of his soldiers, sort of thing.
all right. Well, then there's also Matthew the Raven. Not is he a construct of dreams?
He well, his original Raven got killed, didn't he? Didn't she? Then it was Lucian, the librarian, who replaced. Go look after him. Just keep an eye on him. So, as I said, Matthew the Raven, a very talkative Raven,
Played by
which
Patton
was
Oswalt.
yeah. And they say you've got to say David Wallace in this as John Dee. What a performance! What a performance! I mean, John Dee in the DC comics does become Doctor Destiny, as you mentioned, Doctor Destiny, because he's had the ruby in his taking the power of the ruby. And in the comics, Doctor Destiny looks like Skeletor, really. Skull, cowl. So that's to get David Willis in this to play that character for a few episodes because he is a great actor.
Yeah.
Then you say you had Jenna Coleman as the sort of an ancestor of John Constantine. There's Joanna Constantine. Then you had Lucifer Morningstar, Satan,
Yep.
Gwendolyn Christie. Oh, you got Kirby Howell Baptista's death, of course. Ferdinand Kingsley as Hob Gadlin. Now, that episode was just the one with the man who didn't want to die, live forever. He'll meet him in the same pub in 100 years' time.
Yep.
And by the end of that, you get the feeling between those two. It was just friends, wasn't it? They were just friends. You wanted friendship.
Yep.
You didn't hear anything else of him. I mean, he was in the comics. I know that after reading it. But that was a great episode. Just 100 years time for one night. You spend a night with this person. Who else did we have? Jolly Richardson as John Dee's mother. Great actress.
Very great.
Yeah, you also had Cain and Abel in this. Stephen Fry's Gilbert or Fiddler's Green.
Yep.
Mark Hamill was in this as the voice of Mervyn Pumpkinhead.
That was so cool.
He's just great in it. I'm just going down these. What's that?
There was Sandra James Young as Unity Kincaid, the lady who was asleep for the whole sleeping sickness,
Yeah,
one who actually survived it. The other people died. I think that a lot of people starved to death because they weren't
yeah.
given IV food throughout the whole 100 years or so. But she was. She got good care by her children or
Mm.
grandchildren.
So we've mentioned Bill Patterson was in this as well. The beginning of the story. Charles Dance we've mentioned. Claire Higgins played Mad Hetty, the bag lady. And Claire Higgins, I always remember from Hellraiser.
Yep,
Um, just so many names in this. It's Ian McNeice,
yep,
um, Derek Jacobi was in the last bonus episode with Arthur Darvell.
yep. And Sam Hazeldine.
Yeah, yeah.
He played Uncle Barnaby, and Aunt
So
Grace was, I guess, played by Lisa O'Hare. And that was really something watching that couple and the way that they were treating uh, the Dream Vortex's brother. His name.
mm, we say that. Yeah, there's the. Was it Jed? Was it
Yeah,
that in his dream, the young boy, he became the Sandman in his yellow costume with the logo. That was the comic book Sandman in DC in the 1970s.
oh, all right.
Because they even had the pictures of some villains on the screens in the thing. You had
Yeah,
the Pied
because
Piper.
as
You had,
as as what's her name, uh as what was her name?
the shapeshifter.
um was it Lucienne?
Lucien was the librarian.
No, no, okay, not her.
The what Galt?
Yeah, Galt.
Oh no, yeah, yeah. So
Oh, Anna Bobo. She's running the superhero base for the Sandman, and
in the little kid's dream. Yeah,
she's his dispatcher and stuff, and so
yeah, yeah. So that you had some villains on the screen
yeah,
out of the comics. Yeah,
right, right. So that was all from an actual like DC character from the '70s called the Sandman.
Sandman. Yeah, yeah. The Sandman goes further back than that. There was another Sandman in the DC who used to wear like a gas mask.
Oh, so the first one that started off with the plague mask and or the gas mask, and then
Like a gas mask and a like a hat.
huh,
Then you had the 70s Sandman in his yellow lycra red mask and all that, which the kid dressed up as in his dream. And then you got the Sandman of Neil Gaiman's.
yeah,
So,
fantastic. Oh my god.
yeah, but what a great story. I mean, you mentioned the episode with the serial convention. It was so funny, and creepy as well.
It
When
really was. Yeah, you didn't want to go up next to any of those people in that whole auditorium. You were like,
now,
man, this is one con I could not look
I
at.
mean, the Corinthian was creepy anyway.
Yeah.
Um,
But
when you
endearing
had
because he totally befriended Rose Walker's roommate
like,
and gave him
bedded him,
something to
he bedded him,
yeah, gave him something to look forward to and something to do. Yeah.
but he didn't take his glasses off because if he did, you'd have seen those little teeth in his eyes.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Anyway,
But some of the episodes was a bit had to what the one where with death was just going around making people feel at ease and then taking them away because they was either in an accident or died in the sleep. The scene where she just picks up the baby from the cot,
yeah,
and oh, that's a bit. Uh, that episode was a bit for me. Just what I mean, such a great, nice character, but it was death.
yeah, was really strong stuff there.
Oh yeah, yeah, but for a great ensemble cast, but for me, Tom Sturridge carried it all the way through as well. He really did embody Morpheus.
Yeah, he did.
He really did. Sort of like deadpan. There was like no emotion on his face, but he was a great character.
Yeah.
So anyway, I digress. Any things what stood out for you, Susan?
Another episode that I really liked. I liked the episode where, um, you know, there. Let me get there. Um, when they went to hell, that was amazing. Like, she was like, "No, why would I leave this place where there are 3 billion souls down there and go up and help one or two people?" Uh, yeah, Lucifer was just that was a great character, and we've had some really different looks at Lucifer over the last few years. Um,
Well,
we had
Tom.
that one. We had the one in the other Neil Gaiman, the Good Omens one, and then we had the one in Supernatural where he is a uh, where he's just a really misunderstood bad guy. Yes, he's cruel and stuff, but he's just really misunderstood.
Also, you had Lucifer in Lucifer
And Lucifer, the one who's like the
from Ellis.
yeah,
He
he's like a lawyer or something in Los Angeles. Or
but that's a Neil Gaiman thing as well.
I didn't. I honestly didn't know that.
Yeah, but they drastically changed Lucifer in this because Neil Gaiman says he couldn't see what they'd done to Lucifer in that TV series fitting in with this one now. So they changed Lucifer into a woman in this.
So they, he can't. He wasn't going to try and squish those two universes together.
No, no, no.
Okay, good. All right. Anyway, and then the other thing that was yeah, the other one that was really intense was the one where Rose is looking for her brother, and you see Barnaby and Uncle Barnaby and Aunt Clarice, and they're super abusive to him. I mean, fucking that they were like Dursley kind of abusive,
Well,
and physically abusive though.
it was the uncle one. The aunt was helpless.
Well, yeah, but she was also part of it. He kept convincing her it was the right thing to do.
Well, she was frightened of him.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Controlling.
all right. So we may have missed some abuse, some physical abuse of her earlier, so that may have been why she was so helpless. But you gotta stand up for autonomy. Anyway, yeah,
But then
that
he got his comeuppance though,
he really did.
thanks to the Corinthian.
Yeah. So that went a certain distance towards redemption. Yeah, and then there was and let's see. But then there was the dream of 1,000 cats.
Well, the bonus, yeah, that came out of nowhere, that episode, because everybody thought the series had finished.
Yeah,
And they took that bonus episode with that short animation and then the story of the woman locked in the room.
yeah. Dream's ex-wife.
Yeah, um, who'd have thought it? Eh? I think he swings both ways though. Does Dream?
Yeah, I just the impossible thing about that was the whole cats
Yeah,
dreamed out of their dominant role. That's so amazing. Oh my gosh, like it only took 1,000 humans dreaming one dream that the cats weren't dominating them
yeah,
to
and some of the voices in that animation. I'm just reading here. Let's have a look. Some names. Neil Gaiman voiced a cat. The Skull Crow was James McAvoy.
nice.
Let's have a look. No, Neil Gaiman was the Skull Crow. Sorry, James McAvoy was a golden-haired man. David Tennant as Don.
Yep,
Georgia Tennant as Laura Lynn.
yep.
Keeping the family, of course. Um, Michael Sheen as Paul.
Hmm.
So you've got the good omens in.
Yeah, you can't live without that. There's no escaping the realm of Tennant and Sheen. So Azrael and and what's his name? Anyway,
Oh,
those guys are forever in our lives now.
oh yes.
And apparently there's a season two that's coming out before too long.
And hopefully there'll be season 2 of the Sandman as well.
Yeah, I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah,
And I hear that it's like that it is really well received right now.
yeah.
People are really liking it.
I mean, they've got a lot of material they can use because I think just going by the episodes, the the episodes, each episode was adapted from maybe 2 of the comics each episode. So they've got a lot of material they can adapt.
Okay.
Because if you look at the season, what we've had there, each episode was like a story on its own, with like a running theme all the way through it. But each episode was just a episodic episode, like the Constantine episode or
Yeah.
the serial killer episode. It was it wasn't going all the way through just one storyline,
Yep.
which I thought worked really well, and it was all down to Desire.
It was.
What a character did Desire?
I know.
It was a man with golden eyes.
Yeah.
Fancy having a brother like that. So, anything else you'd like to say about the Sandman?
Yeah, his gadgets weren't even as cool as James Bond. All he had was a sand, like a little bit of sand, ruby, and something. What was the other one? Oh, his helmet.
Yeah, well, you've just reminded me. Another episode, what was quite made you think and mouth open was the John D episode in the diner.
Yeah.
That was just the power of that ruby, just making people do what they wanted to do, what they say what they wanted to say. Everything just ended in death.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That was just. I was sat watching that episode and thinking, wow,
Yeah.
and it didn't hold back,
No.
which is a good thing. But you can see what effect the ruby had on John D. So maybe you might see him as Doctor Destiny at some point when he comes out of this sleep. Because Doctor Destiny goes into your dreams in the comic books. So
Yeah, that was incredible. And I think it was called Dream a Little Dream.
that was it. Yeah, doing a little dream. Yeah, he was just sat there holding the ruby
Yeah.
and he was just watching everybody, and then everybody's was just going on, going a bit further, going a bit further. Wow,
Uh-huh.
what an episode! It was sort of a Morpheus less episode. He was in it, but not as much as every other episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, great acting. Well, great acting from everybody in this, to be
Yeah,
honest.
it was. This was a killer show. I mean, I loved the personalities and the characterizations. They were so
Mm,
good. And then like the backgrounds that they gave all these characters had backstories all the way back to the beginning of time almost.
yeah,
I mean, literally, like there was that was some theatrical writing.
but today you had Ken and Abel in this,
That's what I mean. All the way back
and
to the beginning of time,
he kept killing him over and over again.
all the time. Oh my gosh.
At least you've buried me in a shallow grave this time.
Yeah, that was amazing.
So, shall we go to
Yeah,
Final Score?
yeah, sure.
Over to you then.
Well, uh, Neil Gaiman is, he writes the first time I ever heard of him, he wrote for Doctor Who. And then I have absolutely I loved the Good Omens book that he wrote. I got that because of his connection with Doctor Who and because of his connection with Terry Pratchett, who my roommates liked. And so I read that. That was the first Terry Pratchett I read cover to cover. And then I read everything Terry Pratchett has done that our library has access to. And I really love Terry Pratchett now, but only because, honestly, because of Neil Gaiman and the connection with Doctor Who. And the fact that he's developed these amazing supernatural shows, these crazy, wonderful pieces of mythology, actually modern mythology. It's like fantasy and science fiction. No, it's not really science fiction, but it is fantasy. And this one, the fact that it's a DC comic and like it possessed in it nuggets from DC comics all the way back to, like, what did you say, the 50s?
60s and 70s, something like
Yeah.
that.
Anyway, wow, fantastic. It just, you know, it's amazing. And I mean, this one was beautiful and deadly, and there's such good stories in it, and the stories themselves start at point here and then go through the roof. I believe that it only gets better. He only gets better the longer he writes, the more he does.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there should be a petition to protect him, like the cinnamon bun that he is. He just needs to be put in bubble wrap and protected for everything. Neil Gaiman, that is.
All right.
And I just think that we should, you know, if they don't decide to do one, we should petition hard for a second season of this because this is so good, and there's so much good stuff that uh, that they could dig into. And Lee is right. It's just brilliant. And so yeah, I give this one. I give this one 11 out of 10 episodes. I just think that it's just
Oh, I see what you did there. See what you
yeah.
did?
See what I did there? Or 11 out of 10 cats. I don't know. Like, it was so good. It was absolutely fantastic. And I would encourage you all, every single one of you, to go out and watch this. Doesn't it You won't be disappointed. It doesn't distract you from your real life, but it will give you something to enjoyably think about and enjoyably delve into. And the mythology that Gaiman is generating is significant. So get some. Okay. So 11 out of 10 episodes. Over to you, Lee.
Well, I enjoyed it. I differ from Susan though because I just cannot grasp Terry Pratchett. I just don't understand Terry Pratchett. But Neil Gaiman, I'll go with it. I'll go with it, whatever he writes, because it for me it says more to me than Terry Pratchett did.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that.
Yeah, his writing, I just can't get into it. But Neil Gaiman, yeah, I'm all over it.
Well, then you won't have any trouble with Good Omens season 2 because our dear departed Terry Pratchett is dear and departed. So
Yeah.
unless he's writing from past the grave, it's all going to be Neil Gaiman, right?
Well, it has to be, hasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Unless
So
unless there's some notes what Pratchett had written down, what he's going to use. I don't know. Um, yeah, it's going to be it's full house for me. It's going to be 10 Tom Sturridges out of 10.
nice,
He's my new favourite fascination. I think.
nice.
So, so I was going to say dream, but then I thought, nah, I won't. So yeah, that's it. It's a full house from both of us then, Susan.
Mhm.
We thoroughly enjoyed the Sandman.
Yep,
And by all accounts, everybody who's seen it thinks it's awesome as well.
yep.
So you guys out there, if you've seen it, let us know what you thought of it.
Look at all these people.
Yeah, leave a comment below. We're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Insta. We're all over the place. And if you want to join us, please just have a working laptop, PC, mobile phone, even tablet with a camera, microphone on it, and you're in. Just download the Zoom app and you're in. 18 plus only, though, of course, because we talk about naughty stuff sometimes. 18 plus. So, and also the notification button on YouTube. Please make that sure you've pressed that. So every time we put up a video, you'll see it. So I think that's it, isn't it, Susan?
I think so. I think you've done wrapped it up quite nicely. Thank you.
A big bow. So, Susan, thank you as always for joining us, talking about everything.
Welcome. Thank you for coming and talking way stuff with me.
Yeah. So, until next time, which we haven't decided what we're doing yet, but you'll be surprised. Until next time, sleep tight, sweet dreams. Don't let the nightmares bite. See you for now.